The Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 199. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212.
And there you have it, the House of Representatives still without a speaker. NewsNation just learning that the House GOP will be meeting with Jim Jordan. That meeting could delay today's potential vote. Wednesday, Jordan failed to amass the necessary votes to clinch that position. He received 199, as you heard there, trailing the Democratic nominee Hakeem Jeffries with 212. And despite coming up short in 2 House floor votes so far, Jordan said he believes he still has a path to winning. Here now to talk more about it, NewsNation senior political contributor George Will. So this is a closed-door meeting, George, that's happening right now with GOP members. Could delay a speaker vote. It could mean there's no vote today at all. Round 2 went in the wrong direction for Jim Jordan. It was sounding like round 3 would do the same. What are you seeing in the tea leaves?
Let me tell you a story. William Jennings Bryan was the Democrats' presidential nominee 3 times, and 3 times he lost. And after he lost for a 3rd time, he told a story about a drunk who went into a bar and was thrown out, dusted himself off, went back in, was thrown out a 2nd time, went back in and was thrown out a 3rd time. And as he dusted himself off, he said, "I'm beginning to think they don't want me in there." I think Jordan ought to begin to get the picture that he's not the consensus candidate. Now, it's very hard for someone who has proudly been divisive and a bomb thrower to be a consensus candidate this late in his career. So there's a way out of this. And first of all, there are a lot of good potential speakers, Tom Cole and others, or they could have the option of further empowering Patrick McHenry, who's very respected. The problem is Patrick McHenry, being a sensible man, doesn't want the job. He's got a wonderful job as chairman of the Financial Services Committee, a serious governing institution. And why would he trade that to be the head of this fractious caucus that could turn him out, vacate his speakership on the whim of 2 or 3 disgruntled people?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody wants the job, and some may be asking what Matt Gaetz was thinking if they don't have somebody in line to take it. Perhaps Jim Jordan is looking at what happened in January, and it took 15 rounds for Kevin McCarthy. I don't know. I do want to get your thoughts, though, George, on the fact that some lawmakers who voted against him in round 2 say they're being bullied, they're getting death threats. What does that say about how far apart the party is and the status of the party as a whole?
I think it tells us that there's a lot of personal bitterness involved at this point. Many people, centrist people, particularly the 8, 14, 15, 16, I've forgotten how many it is, Republican House members who are in districts carried by Joe Biden in 2020. They see their careers jeopardized by this cloud of chaos that hovers over the House of Representatives, where people say, look, these people just aren't up to governing, and maybe we ought to purge the Republican Party. So people's careers are in balance here, and no one knows quite why. I mean, can anyone tell me what they're fighting about? They say, well, it's spending. But they've all said they're not going to touch Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid, and that's where the spending is in our society. So it's hard to see anything other than personal ambition and personal animosity driving this argument at this moment.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.